I don't buy Mario Tennis games with this story mode, okay? That's like buying Zelda for its fishing minigame. Nick, there's one thing that people are missing with Mario Tennis Fever, and that it's actually kind of awesome. I have no idea if you agree with me on this, by the way, or not. But even though I have my misgivings with it, I think the story mode is freaking stupid. This is the first Mario Tennis game I've actually wanted to play in like 20 years. And that's why I'm kind of surprised seeing a lot of reactions to it, like writing it off for having only a 4-hour story mode. Yeah. If I had to play any more than 4 hours of that story mode, I'd probably go drown myself or something. But otherwise, I'm having a lot of fun with the game, even if it may not be perfect. This is saying a lot for one who's not been too fond of recent Camelot games, about recent in the last, decade or two. Which is why I'm surprised to find that I'm actually having a blast with this game, primarily online. But I know you've been playing it a bit too, Nick, so I wanted to get your thoughts, as well as my own, out there in our review of Mario Tennis Fever. So Nick, how are you feeling? Does my experience all line up with you, or you're like, whoa, Andre's way off base here?
No. So I think like right off the bat, or right off the tennis racket, I should
Let's get our analogies right.
Yeah, the right sport.
It's a home run!
Yeah, that's the thing with the Camelot games, like they've gotten better and better with each iteration since the Wii U, I want to say. Yeah, and that's the thing, like a little bit. And my time playing this game, especially playing it online, I think that little bit got to me. It's like, oh, I just want one more game. I just want one more game. Like, not even playing the ranked mode, but that's what I was playing. I was like, oh, I just want to play another match, because it's so addicting, and the flow once you get into an actual match and in the rally, it's like, okay, this game is actually really, really fun.
Yes, I love hearing that, because I actually posted a segment for my launch day stream all by itself, being my first online match, and that ended up getting a surprising amount of views, and so many comments were like, you just sold me on this game. Like, I was just showing the game being played, and people were like, you sold me on it, this looks awesome. And it was. I was having a lot of fun, and like, I have to tell you, I don't want to say I was wanting to hate this game, I definitely wasn't, but I wasn't expecting to like it. I'm like, it's another freaking tennis game, I've played enough of these, and I'm realizing now, I wasn't sick of tennis games, I was sick of bad tennis games. And we finally have a good one. Granted, again, it's not perfect, we'll get into more reasons about that soon enough, I'm sure. But I have to say, it actually might be my second favorite tennis game in the entire series now. I know a lot of people consider Power Tennis to be one of the high points of this series, and presentationally, it absolutely is. Mechanically, I think this one blows it away. I think this game finally delivers what they're trying to do with the power shots back then on a level that is incorporated much better, is way more fun, and adds way more strategy too. And I was feeling the exact same one more match that you were when I was playing online, both with random people and with our community.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, again, back to that one more match. When you look at this game as a whole, like the whole package, you might start critiquing it a little bit more, and that's where people might be like, okay, the story mode is like whatever, the trial towers, like, I'll try that out, that's whatever, the tournament mode is whatever, but once you start picking the characters, and there's a huge roster here, and same thing with the rackets, there's a huge selection of rackets here, then it's like, okay, I can really get into like the grittiness of this game. And yeah, the tennis is just plain and simple, it's fun, like, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, that's a key part. Like, it's the same core tennis gameplay that they've had without mucking it up. So, like, it's that, it's got the same core feel, which has always felt good, but they've had times where the mechanics of the game fight against it. Like, the 3DS version in Ultra Smash had that dumb spotlight mechanic, which basically made it, like Simon says, you just go to the spotlight, do the hit that it tells you to, and that's it, and it feels so boring. They also had the Mega Mushrooms in there too, which weren't great. Then, I will say, Aces was a step in the right direction, and they had some interesting ideas there. I just didn't quite love the flow of the gameplay, where you can, like, break your opponent's racket. This game feels like it finally figured it out. It takes that health mechanic from that game, but marries it with a power tennis-like special shot mechanic through the Fever rackets, and it all just works so much better now. I mean, for one, it's way more interesting with all the different power shots or Fever shots available, and how you can mix and match them, which is great, especially if you equip 2 rackets during the same match, which you can swap during the serve, which is cool. But then there's also how they even work. Like, it's not a straight up win shot. Like, if your shot gets deflected, then that becomes a problem for you. Like, I am in love with the fire bar racket, but it sucks when it gets rebounded back at me and there's a freaking fire bar on my side of the court, or 2 or 3 of them if I really screw up. I think it can go up to 3. In any case, it is so freaking fun, and all the different combinations that there are. You can have like a whirlwind at the same time going, or you can have bullet bill shots. Like, I could spend all day describing these rackets, and I haven't even tried fully all of them myself. I actually just unlocked a few more right before this video, because I just finished story mode, which we'll get into that soon enough too. But yeah, mechanically, This game nails it. It totally nails it, and I don't know what else people were expecting. I don't buy Mario Tennis games with this story mode, okay? That's like buying Zelda for its fishing minigame. Like, if it's great, sure, good, I'll take it. But I still want a core good experience. That's what this game absolutely delivers. I don't care if the story mode sucks, which it does, but I'm just happy that the core game is so freaking fun that I actually want to play it. Like, I'm actually not annoyed, but there was so much Mario movie news today that I couldn't go online and play this game with our community, you know?
And that's what I was doing. I was just like, all right, I'm getting into a match. I want to try one more time. And that's the thing. When I lost system, I was like, all right, was it my character? Was it the way I was playing? I was like, all right, I'm going to go back to the menu. I'm going to pick out a new character because there's 38 characters in here. So, like, there's so many to choose from. And then same thing with the rackets. Like, I've been jumping back and forth. Like, even though I think I found my favorite one being, like, the spiky one, I was like, oh, let me try, like, the bullet bill or let me try the golden mushroom one because there's so much flexibility here. So, like, yeah, I want to try them all and play them all. And
the fact that they all have that innate counter where you can just deflect them, like, balances out really well. You know, it doesn't feel like anything's too OP at this point. A verdict's still out on the ghost one. I feel like that one has potential to maybe be a little tough. In any case, total blast so far. So much fun. And even I will say, I'm enjoying some of the special courts as well that they have. They're, you know, Waluigi's pinball is almost a little bit too chaotic. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Power Tennis and all the court gimmicks. Sometimes you can go a little bit too far with it. Forest Court, though, is pretty interesting with how the court can expand or shrink. Racket Factory is pretty cool with how it dynamically changes, like, what rackets are available to you.
Yeah.
And then there's, the Wonder Court. I wish there were more than just 3 variations.
I wish there was 2.
The 3 are pretty fun. The Singing Piranha Plant one, you know, it's always a joy, right?
Yeah, the Singing Piranha Plant. And then the Hippo one, it gets me so confused because there's so many things to hit. It's like, should I go for this one? Do I need to go for this one? But you want to go for the glowing one so you get the Wonder Seed on that.
Exactly. So, and I also like, too, that the special courts are even available for, like, normal matches, too, without any of the gimmicks. And I would say, I think one area that Power Tennis still has the edge is in just overall court variety / presentation. I think this game's presentation is a big step up from previous games. It's not as clinical feeling as some of the other sports games, but still on the level of Power Tennis, which I think had a really fun presentation. And, you know, and again, the court variety was much better there. And I hope we get more courts in this game because, you know, I want even more of that. Like, you know, my favorite courts are the ones that feel like Mario, the Wonder Court, the Waluigi Pinball Court, that kind of thing, you know. So I would love to have seen more of that. But otherwise, the core game, it's almost unmatched. I actually think, I said it's my second favorite, I think it may be my favorite feeling Mario Tennis game now, so at this point.
Yeah, and I might have to agree with you on that. But to touch on something else here with the rackets, I wish they were more so, like, classified, because they don't actually have them. Like, I wish there was, like, defense types or offensive types, because there are some rackets that just affect you. So, like, say you have, I want to say, like, the flower one.
Right.
The ice one. There's 2 different ice ones, but there's an ice one where you hit it and you shoot back, like, ice balls. Even if you reflect that, I don't think you reflect the ice balls back at the opponent, because it is attached to the racket. So I wish they kind of, like, broke those up and had them a little bit more classified. Or had a little bit better of a description for those specific rackets. Because same thing with, like, the metal one. Even if you, like, reflect the metal one back, I don't think it really does anything for your opponent. Because you're the one holding the metal racket, so it's only going to affect you.
That's a good point. There is a bit of a learning curve to this game. It's almost like Dead by Daylight, where there's so many variations of things that it can take a while to get used to. Not nearly the same degree as that game. And one other problem, too, I encounter is when you're playing with 3 or 4 people, when you enable the description, they don't have the room to put any text there, so they don't put anything. I'm like, what? Doesn't help me at all. There's a video that shows this, so it helps a bit, I guess. But I wish they had just shrunk the text to make it, you know, better fit. But yeah, I think having a better sorting would have helped. But I think it's
and randomness too. They don't have randoms for the rackets, right? It's just for the characters,
which is also a weird oversight. There's actually a handful of weird oversights like that, such as how when you go online, you can't play doubles with a friend. You have to be paired with a random, which makes no sense at all. I'm sure they'll fix that in a patch too, but that's really silly. But it's still a huge step up from the online and Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, which was all randoms all the time. I forget they fixed that eventually at some point. In any case, I forget how that compares to Aces, because I honestly, you know what's funny? I've seen one complaint from people being like, some of the character entrance animations are the exact same as Aces. I'm like, man, I remember none of those, so that doesn't really bother me at all, you know?
So like, they still feel new to you.
It feels new, yeah, exactly, because honestly, I played Aces, I reviewed it, I never went back to it. I just didn't like it that much. This is a game I can feel myself coming back to over and over and over again, except in one mode, which I'll never go back to again, Nick. And I think, we already touched on it. I think you know where I'm going with this. That's a story mode. And it's funny you mentioned the Game Boy games earlier, because those games actually had, pretty good story modes, at least for its time. This story mode, like, I appreciate what they were going for. It's bad. It's bad. And especially, I would say even Ace's story mode is actually even better than this. It was more interesting, marginally. But in this game, I think they sink it right out of the gate, because you have over half of the story mode is a dressed up tutorial. Like, it's you going through literally an academy, ranking up. It's the most boring thing in the world to teach you step by step every freaking shot you have, when it's like, I've played every Mario Tennis game, I know how this works. You know, and it's only in the final quarter of this story mode where we finally get to the marginally interesting stuff, and then it's over, you know? And luckily, you don't really have to play except to unlock a handful of rackets, which is a bit annoying. And I would honestly advise most people to, like, just skip it. You know, it's not great. So I don't know. Have you tried it much yourself, or?
So I tried it a little bit, but like you said, when you look at that roster of rackets, there are, I think, a whole row that is locked behind the story mode. And even the final one of the rackets, you need to unlock every single racket to get that one specific one.
And
so I think I'm only missing like a few from the story mode. But yeah, that's even so I guess an unfortunate thing, because it's like the story mode is just so bland. It's like it's a padded out tutorial. It really doesn't need to be there. And I think the reason why it's there is because they want to say they have an adventure mode in this game. They want to, I guess, somewhat justify the $70 price tag. And $70 is like the new $60, and the new $80, or the new $80 is the old $70. So it's just a weird thing with Nintendo trying to price these games out. And it's Mario, so obviously they're going to get away with the $70 price tag.
Right. I mean, if you're people, I mean, where else are you going to get your Mario Tennis fix? I mean, I guess you could buy Aces, but people have already bought it, or they've forgotten about it at this point. So, yeah, I don't want to get into the pricing discussion. It's a whole separate can of worms there, and I don't like to review games based on price alone. Like, the game's either good or it isn't, right? And this game, for me, it's very good. I'm having a blast with it outside of the story mode, which, again, I'm not playing Mario Tennis with the story. Like, if it happened to be good, awesome, that's great. I don't care if that's not good, but I'm not going to play it again. I do wish there were alternate unlock conditions for the rackets, but the story mode is at least short. I think I've beat it under 4 hours, probably even less, like even notably less than that even. So it's not like the biggest time sink. It's just, you know, unfortunate it isn't good. But in any case, the main game is what matters for me, and I'm having a blast. Oh, also, like, even the online, outside of the, you know, couple of quirks already mentioned, it otherwise works great. You can create new custom rooms, and you can have people hop in, you know, like, many other Nintendo first-party games. But the online connection, in my experience, has been solid, like, really solid. I've been playing with both, you know, matchmaking online, also random people from the community, and they're all over the world. There was only one match that played kind of poorly, where it was like stuttering fairly frequently. Aside from that, it's been remarkably smooth. There are occasional hiccups, but to the point it doesn't really bother me. Like, I haven't really noticed any input delay, which is a big thing for me in games. Like Smash Brothers, I find to be almost unplayable online because of the input delay. It just changes the feel of the game so much. Whereas this game, I only want to play it online, and that's great. That's what I want. And I do hope they patch in that issue with the partners not being able to be a friend or whatever. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, I'm just like really surprisingly impressed by this game on the whole. Again, I was not expecting to like it. I was expecting to write it off because I thought the Fever racket looked like a complete gimmick like every other game. And most every other game recently from Camelot. And no, it's like, wow, they figured it out. That's really good. I actually want this to come back in the future now.
Yeah, and to go back to your point, what you were saying about the online play, I played over 70 matches online, and I don't think I had a single disconnect. Like, even though there's times where it can be a bit choppy, I was like, wow, I was shocked at how good the online is. And I think this game is going to work for a lot of people playing online with friends or with randos, and even playing like with friends in person. I think that's kind of the way to go too, because like we were saying before at the very beginning of the video, like you want to get that one more match in, that one more match. Even like sometimes some matches you get destroyed, or you destroy someone like 7-1, and then there's other matches where it's like neck to neck. It becomes like 6-8, and next thing you know, like I sometimes I write those matches off because I'm like, oh, I'm so far down, like I don't know if I'm gonna make it back. And next thing you know, like there's all the shenanigans on the other side of the court, and it's just such a mess. There's like bananas, there's all the fire on the court. It's like, okay, no, I'm actually coming back from this because now I have everything in my favor.
And it never feels unfair, at least to me, because it's all rooted in that core Fever strategy, right? Like, well, they chose a racket, they landed the shot there, like, it makes sense. Which is, again, a reason why I may actually prefer to Power Tennis, because a lot of that game was, you know, the random court hazards, which really did just feel random. It's like, well, I got randomly screwed by a mud pile there. Whereas, like, here, it's like, well, I screwed up, I didn't reflect the shot, there's mud there now, I gotta deal with it, right? And again, I can't get over just how fun. My favorite combo right now, it may change, is the firebar racket and the thwomp racket. I love just the chaos that creates. You got the firebars on the ground, you got the thwomp in the sky. It's so good, Nick. And it's just been a lot of fun. And I'm shocked that I'm like this passionate about a recent Mario Sports game, Mario Tennis, Mario Sports, whatever it is, because I feel like Camelot's been missing the boat for over a decade now at this point.
Yeah.
It actually makes me hopeful for the first time in a long time that maybe they're back on track. Maybe the next Mario Golf will be really good. I thought Rush was decent, but I think there's more potential there, and hopefully they deliver it. And then eventually, of course, Mario Baseball. Come on, where's my Mario Baseball?
Yeah. I'm still waiting for that Mario Baseball, or like hell, even bring Mario Hoops 3-on-3, some kind of basketball game to switch to.
Exactly. Nick, anything else about this game we need to touch on, or any other points you have that we haven't brought up?
Yeah, so I guess like two little complaints. One, I don't know if you ever noticed this, but when I was playing online, my first match I did Koopa, and then I eventually switched to like Donkey Kong and a bunch of other characters. But for some reason, like Koopa's voice lines were still staying around, which was kind of odd. Like
weird.
After. In between the points where it's like I would hear Koopa in the background, like, wait a minute, I'm playing as Donkey Kong, or I'm playing like it definitely wasn't Lakitu. I thought it was Lakitu at first, but I'm like, wait, why am I still hearing Koopa even though he's not around anymore? And then the other thing that I noticed, which
hold on real quick, I use that. I'm gonna hop in here real quick because that reminded me of my other main complaint. Of hearing voices when you don't want to, being the freaking talking flower. I hate the talking flower. I hate him so much. I have a pretty high tolerance for annoying announcers. Like, I actually like the Wave Race one. This dude sucks. I hate the talking flower. Thank God you can partially turn them off. He still chimes in every now and then with things, but during gameplay itself, he's pretty much quiet. Because he adds nothing of value. He just says, you did that shot you did? You did it. Good job. You did that shot. It's like, dude, you're just telling me what I already know. So anyways, minor complaint. You can turn it off, whatever. Sorry, your other complaint.
No, but yeah, going back to your flower, it's every single hit. I wish there was like a little less chatty option, like a meter or something. Because eventually, the first time I started, I'm like, I'm just turning this off. I don't want to hear the flower. And then I was like, you know what? I want to hear the flower talk. And I was like, all right, I kind of got used to it. I didn't mind the commentating. But yeah, I wish there was kind of a slider. And the other thing I noticed, which was very odd, is the amiibo support for the game. You have to scan the amiibo in every single time you want to use a ball. It doesn't save it to the actual game. So it makes me think, I'm like, you're just going to have your amiibo sitting off to the side, ready to scan it every time you want to change the ball. Yeah, well, like, that's a bit of a pain. I wish it saved it like every other Nintendo game. Like, even like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where it just saves them directly to the game and you don't have to have your amiibo laying around. Because I've been playing this game primarily with GameCube controller, the wireless one, and that doesn't have any amiibo functionality to it. So you can't scan your amiibos using that. But otherwise, like, this game is a great game. Like, I'm having a good time with it. I think I'm going to be coming back to this pretty often because, again, like, playing online or just playing with friends, you just want to get that one more match in. Even if you win or lose, it's like, okay, I just need to get my revenge. Okay, that was such a close match. I'm going back in for another one.
You know it's a good game when it's fun to lose, even. That's always a high mark for me. So, yeah. So, Nick, I'm giving this game a liked a lot. I like this game a lot. I'm also retroactively changing my Metro Prime review to a like. It was like a lot before. I'm like, no, I forgot what a like a lot is. This is the like a lot. Metro Prime 4 is a like, but I'm having a blast with this game. Nick, what's your verdict?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a like. Again, this is a lot better than the previous sports games on Switch. That's, I think, when we started noticing a lot of the hiccups with Camelot making these games. Like, especially that they didn't feel content ready. This game does right out of the gate.
It does.
So
38 characters.
Yeah, 38 characters. How many rackets are there? There's
too many.
30 different rackets, I think. Yeah, there's so many here. So again, like, when they add new stuff to the game, my hope is maybe different types of mini games or things that you can do with friends. On top of that, obviously more courts. The courts are getting, especially playing online, like, you start seeing them fairly often, all the same ones, especially the ones that take place like in the Mushroom Kingdom area. It's like because they're all right next to each other, so you basically see all of them right next to each other. But yeah, the courts, I think, is something that they need to work up on.
I do agree with that. I will say one detail I do like about the Mushroom Kingdom ones is how you can see other games going on around you.
I do like that.
I think that's a cute touch. So, but yes, more courts I think is almost a necessity. But because I've been seeing a lot of the ones already in the game. But there you go, everyone. That's our review of Mario Tennis Fever. Again, shocking good time. So literally, if you get the lightning racket or whatever it is. So with that, everyone, thank you for watching. Click subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you later. Have a good one. Bye.